Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Today's video is a top 5 defensive guys at the bye. Bars. That's bars right there. That's bars right there. But no, today's video is about my top 5 guys on the defensive side going into the bye. First, let me just start off with, I'm just excited with how this defense is looking all together. So when I'm pointing out these top 5 guys, I don't want to shade anybody else because this defense, again, is playing as a whole and they're playing very well and everybody is playing above expectations. Now, I had high expectations for this defense going into the season because Wink Martindale was coming, but I did not expect this soon. The New York Giants are solidified on defense. We're only giving up 18.5 points a game. Yards are another thing, but when it comes to putting points on the board, not too many teams are doing that. And that's all because of Wink Martindale and these players buying into that scheme. And I love it. And I love it. And I love it. But I want to also get into some honorable mentions because there's some names that didn't make the top 5 that also should have some recognition. So I do want to start off with one guy, a new addition to the New York Giants, and that's going to be Mr. Jihad Ward. I did a video on Jihad Ward calling him the unsung hero. He is the heartbeat of this defense, in my opinion. He brings a certain energy and a certain toughness to this team, and I don't think that it would be the same if this guy was not here right now. So Jihad Ward is doing a fantastic job all over the place for the defense. Whatever Wink Martindale wants him to do, if it's setting the edge, if it's dropping out in the flat, if it's pass rushing, Jihad Ward is going ahead and he's doing those things. So I want to make sure that I give him a shout out. Second guy on the list is going to be Oshane Ximines. And Oshane Ximines, at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know what, he can go, he had all this time to prove himself. He didn't do much. But for some reason, Wink Martindale said, I could do something with this guy. I could see his skill set. He has something that I like. Let me go ahead and tap into those skills and see if I can get this guy to produce. And he did that. And one thing I will say is good coaching gets the best out of its players. And right now, Wink Martindale is getting the best out of Oshane Ximines, or at least the best that we've seen so far out of Oshane Ximines. So he's also on my honorable mention list. Now, the third guy on my honorable mention list is going to be Mr. Leonard Williams. And I know, he's one of the top guys on this team, and I absolutely believe that, but he dealt with some injuries. He started off, pretty strong. He was, him and Dexter Lawrence were having, a pretty solid couple of games. And then he gets hurt, with the knee injury, and he had to sit out for a while. And during that time, Dexter Lawrence has excelled. You know what I mean? Dexter Lawrence is playing out of his mind. And we're still waiting to see what this combo looks like because Leonard Williams is not 100% yet. You can see it in his skip. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting there. And once he is there, oh my God, this defensive front is going to look like one of those top teams. I really do believe that. I'm a little bit biased, but I really do believe that a healthy Leonard Williams next to Dexter Lawrence is going to be an absolute problem, especially going into the second half because we need him to be that, especially if we're going to go into this playoff run and possibly further. Fingers crossed on that. So those are going to be my 3 honorable mentions. It's going to be Jihad Ward, Oshane Ximines, and Leonard Williams. Now let's get into this top 5. Without further ado, let's get into this top 5. But actually, please make sure if you got this far to like, comment, and subscribe. The channel is growing, and it's all because of you. Now let's get into this top 5. So number 5 on my list of the top 5 guys going into the bye this season is going to be Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney is number 5 on this list. Now, I thought last year Xavier McKinney got snubbed for the Pro Bowl. He came along later in the season. Once Logan Ryan got hurt, you saw him start to blossom in his natural position. He's a center fielder. He's a guy that likes to play back, sees the entire field, but also can give you that thump if you want to, in the running game or in the run defense. He'll get down in the box and get dirty. But Xavier McKinney right now, he has 36 tackles. He has one sack, one forced fumble, and 4 pass deflections. So Xavier McKinney is having a solid year so far. I do expect him to get even better as the season continues, but right now he's doing everything that we asked him to do, and he's making those plays. So Xavier McKinney right now is a solid guy. I did expect a little bit more, but it's a lot of guys shining on his defense, and the defense as a whole is playing better. So he might not be standing out individually as much as he was last year, because he was a guy amongst a defense that was looking horrible for the most part. But Xavier McKinney is having a solid year so far. I respect those numbers and salute to you, Xavier McKinney, number 5 on my list of top 5. Now, number 4 on this list for me, and again, I'm looking at the whole season, not just the last few weeks. Number 4 right now is going to be Kayvon Thibodeaux, and I know you guys are going crazy right now. Like, what? Number 4? That's too high. That's too high. I understand, and I absolutely believe that as the season continues, Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to get lower and lower on this list. He might be the top guy at the end of the year, but right now, I have him listed as number 4. He did miss a few games. He's only played 5 games, but the impact in the last 3 weeks has been phenomenal. Phenomenal. I believe he has something like 18 pressures in 3 weeks, and that's just crazy numbers right now. He did get his first sack, and it was in a very important part of a game against a MVP caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson. He got his first sack, and not only was it a sack, it was a sack fumble. And it was at the best part of the game to have something like that happen. And you saw his emotions after the game too. Kayvon Thibodeaux is becoming a problem. And that's a problem in a good way. He's becoming a monster. Kayvon Thibodeaux, if you look at him the last couple weeks, he's getting the quarterback snaps now. He's able to jump the snap. And if he jumps the snap, the tackle does not stand a chance. He is just too quick. Too quick. And another thing, I remember during the draft, and everybody was doing their scouting, and everybody talked about Kayvon Thibodeaux not having a motor. He takes plays off. He's focused on his career after football. He's focused on his brand. And what has this man done so far? You see the hustle. The man just chased down Travis Etienne 50 yards down the field to get the tackle. The man's motor is relentless. He has only 1 sack in the 5 games that he played, but at every play you see him getting there. That's why his pressures are so high. This man's motor is phenomenal. His hustle, his heart cannot be judged or cannot be disputed anymore. Kayvon Thibodeaux is number 4 on my list of the top 5 guys, and I do believe by the end of the year, he's probably going to be in the top 2, if not one of the top guys on the squad. But Kayvon Thibodeaux right now today is number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 3 is the cornerback CB1, Adoree Jackson. At the beginning of the year when we lost, or when we let Bradbury walk, a lot of the questions was, or a lot of the statements that people were saying is that Adoree Jackson is a good cornerback too, but we really don't know if he can play the CB1 spot. And I thought the same thing too. I had the same feelings. I had the same, restrictions in my thought process. Okay, we've never seen Adoree Jackson be the number 1 guy. What is he going to do? And lo and behold, in 7 games, Adoree Jackson is looking like a true CB1. Undisputed. You can't debate it. He is looking phenomenal right now. And not only is he good in pass coverage, he is coming up in run defense too. He is being a physical corner. And now I would like him to dial it back a little bit, because you're still, 190 pounds? Don't just be throwing your body in there like that. I understand what you're doing. I understand that it's for the team, but we want to keep you healthy, because after you know what I mean? I love the energy. I love the physicality. Be smart. Deion Sanders will tell you something, right? But absolutely excited about Adoree Jackson and what he's done so far. We were talking about the money, how they restructured his contract and things like that. But Adoree Jackson's looking like a staple for years to come in his defense. And as long as he's playing the way that he's playing, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at that. Adoree Jackson has solidified himself as a cornerback 1 in this league, period. So Adoree Jackson is number 3 on my list. Now, when I got to these top 2 guys, I went back and forth a lot. I was leaning one way, then I changed my mind, then I went back, then I changed my mind again. And I'm going to settle here right now, because I think with the rest of the season, there's a couple of guys are going to be moving up and down on this list for me. But right now, today at number 2, I have Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, Dexter Lawrence at number 2. I know, trust me, I know he should be number 1 on the list. He's probably number 1 on yours, but right now, Dexter Lawrence, I have him as number 2 on my list, and he's doing a great job. For years, we were wondering why Dexter Lawrence was playing the end. We were wondering why he was not playing a nose tackle position. And this year, he moved to nose tackle, and you saw what happened. The man has blossomed into one of the top tackles in the league. Right now, Dexter Lawrence is an all-pro, and I will stamp that right now. If the season ended right now, Dexter Lawrence is an all-pro. When was the last time the Giants had an all-pro on defense? It's been that long. It has been that long. And Dexter Lawrence, I love that it's him. Now, we did pick up the 5th-year option, so we got him here for another year guaranteed. But I know that Joe Shane is looking at this year. He's getting to the offseason. He's talking to Kevin Abrams like, hey, I need you to move some money around. We got to get Big Dex signed, extended. It has to happen. Come on, Kev. Make that money work. I'm telling you, you have to get Dexter Lawrence extended this year. Right now, he's still young. He's on his rookie deal, 4 years into the league. The first 3 years, you're like, okay, you saw glimpses of where he made plays, but it wasn't consistent. But for 7 weeks, and with Leonard Williams going out for injury, Dexter Lawrence has not missed a beat. Pressure up the middle, chasing down quarterbacks to the sideline, getting sacks, pass deflections. Dexter Lawrence is a all-pro defensive tackle for the New York Giants, and we did not see that coming. We thought he would be good. We felt like he should have been a nose tackle, but we did not see him being an all-pro. And Dexter Lawrence is one of the big reasons why this defense is playing the way that it's playing. That pressure up the gut helps everybody out. You force that pressure up the gut, the quarterback has to decide what he's doing, and then the ends, go ahead and clean that up. Your edges, clean that up. But Dexter Lawrence is a big part of why this defense is as good as it is right now. And he's still number 2 on my list. So now I'm going to get to number 1. And everybody has to be like, who can be number 1 over Dexter Lawrence? And like I said, I went back and forth. Went back and then forth, and then back and forth again. And I'm still going back to this guy at the number 1 spot. And it's crazy when I think about it, because at the beginning of the year, I was like, they drafted his replacement. He's solid. He's versatile. He can play a couple different positions in the secondary. But it's like, okay, Julian Love. Julian Love is number 1 on my list right now as the impact player for this defense going into the bye. The first 7 weeks, I have Julian Love as my top guy on this defense. So let's start by getting into the stats. Julian Love has 50 tackles. The closest person next to him has 37 tackles. This guy is playing safety. He's playing physical. He's playing deep, pass coverage, helping out in the run. Julian Love is all over the place. 50 total tackles. 3 tackles for loss. He has 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and a couple of pass deflections. Julian Love is one of the biggest surprises to me all year. Now, I expected him to be, serviceable, solid. But damn it, the man is playing at a Pro Bowl level and could possibly be playing at an all-pro level. When I'm looking at all the other safeties around the league, Julian Love, stat-wise, is right there with all of the rest of them. Look it up yourself. The numbers are there. ESPN.com, NFLnetwork.com, all the .coms. Look up Julian Love's stats. He is playing phenomenal right now. And he's my number 1. He batted down a pass in the end zone, saved us a touchdown. He intercepted Lamar Jackson. Game-winning plays, game-deciding plays. Julian Love has been there for all of that all year long. And right now, he is number 1 on my list. Now, at the end of the year, could he drop? Absolutely. Do I want him to drop? Probably. I want to see Kayvon Thibodeaux at the top of this list. And that means if he's at the top of this list, that he's balling out of his mind that second half of the season. And if he's looking like what he's looking like now, and he's number 4 on my list, if he makes it to number 1, that means I don't even want to say the names. I don't want to compare him. I don't want to jinx it. I just can't wait to see Kayvon Thibodeaux keep doing what he's doing. Azeez Ojulari, please get healthy, because once our defense is fully healthy, it's going to be a sight to see. It's going to be a nightmare for offensive coordinators, and I just can't wait to see that. And I'm biased. I understand that I'm biased, but I see it. We're not even healthy right now, and the defense is playing this well. So imagine when we get all the horses back. And I say that a lot, but I really mean it. I really do mean it. But that's going to be my list of top 5 guys. Again, going down the list, I got Xavier McKinney, Kayvon Thibodeaux, Adoree Jackson, Dexter Lawrence at 2, and then number 1, Julian Love. Oh, I almost forgot a guy for honorable mention. Fabian Moreau. Fabian Moreau, you are doing a fantastic job. I don't know how you were on your couch, but I'm glad you were there to answer the phone when Joe Shane calls. Say, hey, Fabian, we need you. If it was Wink Martindale, hey, Fabian, we need you. Whatever. Whoever called you and told you to get on that plane and fly to New Jersey, New York, and to come to 1925 Giants Way, that was one of the best moves ever. One of the best moves ever. Fabian Moreau, you are balling right now, too. And I had to mention you, but I can't believe I forgot. You're absolutely on this list as an honorable mention. Could possibly even touch the top 5. That's how good you're playing right now. We see the stats. You're getting the recognition too out there in social media and all that. So Fabian Moreau, great job. But again, I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm almost there, people. I'm almost there.